I was planning to do a video about the ridiculous flat earth mathematics, but I prefer to do another video about the ultimate flat earth map first. In my last video on this topic I stated that no one has ever tried to construct a flat earth map that gives correct distances, and the only one that has tried failed. Some YouTubers reacted to this statement, and it became clear to me that there is a growing disagreement among flat earthers about the usual flat earth map, and that some people are trying to make it more consistent with the known distances. This led to 3 other flat earth maps.
What is it? Circle. Close.
Tell me what you think it is.
Is it a star?
It is a star.
The first I will refer to as the more correct flat earth map, so named by its maker, Truth Not Trolls Sturrock. The other one by the name of Collignon projection, and the third one derived from the Collignon projection that I shall refer to as the Lawrence map, because it's constructed by Lawrence Wright. The first one is more or less a variant to the Gleason's map. The other two are fundamentally different because they propagate a diamond-shaped world. I'll start first with some basic triangulations. Surveyors started using triangulation in the 1615s in Holland as a way of measuring distances and fixating points in space and at a specific place on a map. Since then about the whole world has been triangulated, as can be seen on this map of India. Back then surveyors had to conclude that the Earth is a sphere because that was the only way they could make their measurements fit. When you have a city, say Amsterdam, then you can draw a circle with a radius of 5,862 kilometers, the distance between Amsterdam and New York. New York can lie anywhere on that circle, so we choose a point at random. Connecting both points gives us a baseline. Now we can draw a circle with a radius of 15,524 kilometers, the distance between New York and Brisbane, and a circle with a radius of 16,213 kilometers, the distance between Amsterdam and Brisbane. Now we have 2 possible locations for Brisbane. Connecting the dots gives us 2 triangles mirrored around the axis Amsterdam-New York, with the 2 possible locations for Brisbane at their top. Then we can draw another triangle with Amsterdam-New York as a base and the 2 possible locations of Tokyo. And for Kuala Lumpur the same thing. Some locations are clearly impossible, so they are eliminated here. In this way we can locate different cities on a flat map. We can position the first triangle in such a way that they match the positions of Amsterdam and New York on one of the alternative flat earth maps. And then we can see whether or not the other cities lie in the right place. On the more correct flat earth map, Brisbane lies in the middle of the ocean, somewhere near the Philippines, or in another configuration off the coast of Sri Lanka. According to that configuration, Kuala Lumpur lies in the province of Gujarat in India. In the other configuration, Tokyo lies in the province of Chukotka in Russia. It could also lie somewhere in Uzbekistan. Now let's see how the Collignon map does. Brisbane lies either somewhere in the Antarctics or not at the map at all. Via another configuration it lies pretty much at the right place, at least it lies in Australia, but then Kuala Lumpur lies in the province of Andhra Pradesh in India. Tokyo lies somewhere in Namibia. It's just a mess. Not surprisingly, the results for the Lawrence map are evenly disastrous. It turns out to be a scheme to control the distances on the Collignon map. Still, Lawrence Wright claims that all the distances are correct within a 5% margin, but I measure on his chart a distance between Quito, Ecuador and Cape Town, South Africa of about 13,000 kilometers. The real distance is 10,000 kilometers. The distance between Quito and London is about 12,000 kilometers on his map. The real distance is 9,000 kilometers. The distance between London and Cape Town is about 11,000 kilometers on his map. The real distance is 9,600 kilometers. These differences result in huge differences in the triangulation. I had to warp the screen print in order to have it comply with the Collignon map. I may have distorted some distances in the process, but not in the 30% region of error. Maybe Lawrence made a mistake, and did he mean to say my distances are correct within a 30% margin? On my request to provide me with the timestamps of the 3-hour video where I could find a readable map and where he did prove that his distances were correct, he didn't answer. The makers of these maps are desperately trying to get the distances right, but neglect the fact that it isn't enough to have one distance right, but that you must have the triangulation right, and this can't be done, not even on a normal global Earth map like this Mercator projection. And that's because trigoniometrics on a flat plane is much different from trigoniometrics on a globe. It is expected that triangulation gives false measurements on a Mercator projection, but it should work on a flat Earth map. It doesn't, because the world ain't flat. That's why.